Ladies and gents, welcome to tonight's episode of Morte D'Arthur. Tonight we see that good old knight Sir Tristram getting stuck into some heavy tournament fighting. It's all good stuff to round off the week with. So hello, good evening. Hello Andrew and Jane. Hello Danny. Welcome guys. Come in. Hello Lars. Come in Lars. Get yourself in here. Hello Chris. It's Friday, finally Friday, the end of the week, first weekend in December. Hope you're all in a good mood. Hello Noel, it's been a long time, how are you? Welcome, come in, and hello Sean as well. Come in guys. Oh, well, that's because you're ahead of us all, Andrew. You've got Saturday morning over there, but it's still Friday night over in Yorkshire. Hello, Laura. Come in. I hope that Saturday morning is a fine Saturday morning over there. Excellent, Noel. I'm glad. You're all up to speed. We'll still do a replay though, just to bring you all in. Brunch. Oh, I could murder brunch right about now, Andrew. Hello, Queen, as well. Hello, Taz. Come in. Welcome. Hi, Karen. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Hello, Victor. Hello, Kalina. Come in, guys. Come in. Welcome to tonight's show. Pull up a good chair before we give it another minute, and then we will launch into this telling. Oh, fab, Andrew. Fab. I'm looking forward to it. Almost April now. It's close. I need to buy a hat or something for when I'm taking photos so that my hair doesn't get in my face. I've been photographing stuff at work recently, and it's a bit of a problem when my fringe just wants to get stuck into a camera viewfinder, but hopefully we can get that sorted. Hello Black Rabbit, hello Blue Sky Moon, come in. Hello Wendy, come in guys, welcome. No, you've missed nothing, Rabbit, absolutely nothing. We haven't started yet. But, here we go. Sound off! Oh, you can't do any of the sound off. You just get the crazy hand gestures and nothing else. Your arm has been excellent, Andrew. I hope you recover swiftly before April. In fact, well, here we are. This is it. We're here now. Is the important thing. So welcome to tonight's episode of Morte D'Arthur. We are telling the tale of Sir Tristram, who is in love with Queen Isolde of Cornwall. Queen Isolde, of course, in love with Sir Tristram too. And yet, when Sir Tristram was found in bed with Queen Isolde, then he was exiled from Cornwall. Of course, exiling a man of the love and lusts of Tristram is not exactly an easy thing to do, for he was only gone from Cornwall for a year when he received letters from Lady Isolde, and that made him turn around and bring himself back to Cornwall, there to get up to all kinds of naughtiness in the Queen's chambers once again, until again after thinking that he'd been betrayed by Queen Isolde, after spending 6 months in the perilous forest going mad and throwing off all of his clothes, because the two things are intrinsically linked in medieval psychology. After that, he was discovered as Sir Tristram, and again was he exiled. Now Tristram is adventuring across Britain as a knight in search of adventure, smiting where he might, taking part in jousts whenever there's the opportunity. It happens, Rabbit, that the problem with sort of season 9 of Sir Tristram is the word naked pops up a lot, usually next to Tristram. He doesn't like clothes, bless him. Anyway, Sir Tristram is off smiting across the land, across any knights that he might come across with. In fact, he's come across plots from the evil Queen Morgane Le Fay, the witch, who's been plotting to slay Sir Lancelot through devilish trickery. When Tristram found out about this, he, loving Sir Lancelot more than any other knight in all the world, swore that he would protect Lancelot, and went off to face the traps that Morgana had set and defeat the knights at every single turn. Morgana is now furious with Tristram and wants him dead. Tristram is continuing his way across the land, and in doing so he has come across a tournament to determine who the greatest knight in all the realm is. Well, for a man such as Sir Tristram, you can't just pass up an opportunity to be part of a tournament like this. King Arthur himself is there to pass judgment, with Sir Lancelot, his great knight, sat next to him judging the roles. Before this tournament has even begun, though, Tristram has spotted a knight called Sir Palomides. Sir Palomides, a Saracen, and an unchristened one at that, was a knight that Tristram once fought against for the love of Queen Isolde of Cornwall. The two fought off against each other in a tournament in Ireland over the woman's love, and there did Tristram quickly unhorse Sir Palomides and defeat him in single combat on foot. Sir Palomides, it seems, was hungry to have a shot at round 2, and so quickly as the two knights were getting ready to joust off against each other, before Tristram was ready, Palomides drove his horse forward, took his spear, and knocked good old Sir Tristram from his horse. Tristram was angry and demanded that the man should fight him on foot, but Palomides said no, and so we go now into the first day of the tournament proper, with Tristram still smarting from the embarrassment of being knocked off of his horse. Here we go, ladies and gents. Let's get into the first day of the tournament. Now we turn unto Sir Tristram de Lyon, who commanded Gouvernail his servant to get him a black shield that would resemble no other. And so Sir Persides and Sir Tristram departed from their host Sir Pelens, and they rode early toward the tournament. Then they drew to King Caridus' side of Scotland, and anon knights began the field, what of Northgally's part, and what of King Caridus' part, and there began a great party. And then the knights began, and there was hurling and rushing upon the field of battle. And right so came Sir Persides and Sir Tristram, and so they did fair, and they put the King of Northgalis aback. Then came Sir Bloberus de Gany, and Sir Garis, and them both of Northgally. And then was Sir Persides smitten down and almost slain, for more than 40 horsemen rode over him. And Sir Bloberus did great deeds of arms, and Sir Garis failed him not. And when Sir Tristram beheld them and saw them do such deeds of arms, he marvelled of what they were. Bloberus, Sean. And also Sir Tristram thought shame that Sir Persides was so done to. And he got a great spear in his hand. And then he rode to Sir Garis and smote him from his horse. And then was Sir Bleoberis wroth, and he got a spear, rode against Sir Tristram in great ire, and then Sir Tristram met with him, smote him down to the ground. So the king with the 100 knights was angry, and he horsed Sir Bloberus and Sir Garis again, and then began a great medley of arms, and ever was Sir Tristram held them passingly short, and ever did Sir Bloberus be passingly busy to face off against Sir Tristram, and then at last came Sir Dinadan against Sir Tristram. And Sir Tristram gave him such a buffet upon his helm that he swooned in his saddle. Then, after, Sir Dinadan came to Sir Tristram and said, Sir, I know you better than you think, but I promise you my fealty. I will never face against you any more, for I promise you that sword of yours shall never come on my helm again. And with that came Sir Bleoberis and Sir Tristram, and they gave him such a buffet that he laid his head, and he caught him so sore by the helm that he was pulled under his horse's feet. And then King Arthur blew his horn to say to stop. And Sir Tristram departed to his pavilion, and Sir Dinadan rode with him, and Sir Persides and King Arthur then, and the kings upon both parties marvelled at what knight was with them with the black shield. Many said their advice, and some knew him for Sir Tristram, and held their peace, and would say naught. And so, that first day King Arthur and all the kings and lords that were judges gave Sir Tristram the prize for battle. However, they did not know his name, so they called him the Knight with the Black Shield. Halfway through tonight's stories, ladies and gents, Sir Tristram has fared mightily well on the first day of battle, proving himself to be an able knight, winning the prize, although not revealing his name, hiding himself as the Knight with the Black Shield. And I should say as well, ladies and gents, for those of you who weren't here last night when we were discussing this, much better than yesterday's show, I think, Rabbit. But, as we were saying in yesterday's show, I quite like doing the intros. The intros are a lot of fun, and I think a lot of you guys enjoy the intros sometimes more than the story itself. And many of you weren't here when we started with Season 1 of Les Morte D'Arthur, and indeed, it's not even on catch for you to catch up on it. I don't even have records of Season 1. So I was thinking, not this coming week, but the week following, of going back in time to Season 1 and actually just telling Season 1 as an entire intro, straight to camera, no story, just me sharing Season 1 and telling the story all the way through, improvised off the top of my head with no notes to guide me, which I thought might be quite fun to try, and so we might go and do that. For those of you who missed the start earlier episodes, it also means that when there are slower episodes, and for those of you who aren't a fan of the slower episodes, we can cut them straight away and just stay exciting and stay passionate in the story. Anyway, plenty of passion still to come tonight as we follow on with what's happening with Sir Tristram. And no snippy. Then, upon the morn, Sir Palomides returned from the King of Northgalley, and he rode to King Arthur's side, where King Carados was, and the King of Ireland, and Sir Lancelot's kin, and Sir Gawaine's kin was there as well. So Sir Palomides set the damsel unto Sir Tristram, and he sent to seek when he was out of his mind in the forest. And this damsel asked Sir Tristram what he was and what was his name. As for that, said Sir Tristram, tell Sir Palomides that you shall not know at this time until I am ready, for I have already broken 2 spears upon him. But let him know this much, said Tristram, that I am the same knight that smote down in over-evening at the tournament, and tell him plainly on what party that Sir Palomides be, for I will be of the contrary party. Sir, said the damsel, you should know that Sir Palomides will be on King Arthur's side in the battle, where the most noble knights of the world are. Then in the name of God, said Sir Tristram, I will be on the side of King Northgalis. By cause Sir Palomides will be on King Arthur's side, and else I would not do this, but for his sake. And so, when King Arthur came, they blew upon the field, and then there began a great party. And so King Carados jousted with the King of the 100 Knights. And there came King Carados, who had a fall, and there was hurtling and rushing, and right so in came knights of King Arthur's, and they bore aback the King of Northgalis' knights. Then did Sir Tristram come in, and they began so roughly and so byly, and that was none who might withstand him, and thus Tristram endured long. And at the last Sir Tristram fell among the fellowship of King Ban, and there fell upon him Sir Bors de Ganis, and Sir Ector de Maris, and Sir Blamore de Ganis, and many other knights. Then did Sir Tristram smite on the right hand, smite on the left hand, and all the lords and ladies saw those noble deeds. But at the last Sir Tristram could have had the worse, had not the King with the 100 Knights been there. And then he came with his fellowship, and rescued Sir Tristram, and brought away those knights that bore the shields of Cornwall. Then Sir Tristram saw another fellowship by themselves, and there was 40 knights in amongst them, and there he smote down Sir Kay from his horse, and there he fared among those knights like a greyhound among conies. Then Sir Lancelot found a knight that was sorely wounded upon the head. Sir, said Sir Lancelot, who wounded you so sure? Sir, he said, a knight who bore a black shield, and I may curse the time that ever I met with him, for he is a devil and no man. So Sir Lancelot departed from him, and thought to meet with Sir Tristram. And so he rode with his sword drawn in his hand to seek Sir Tristram, and then he saw him, and how he hurled here and there, and at every stroke Sir Tristram well nigh smote down a knight. Oh, mercy Jesus, said the King, this times I spur arms, so I never know knight do so marvellous deeds. And if I should set upon this knight, said Sir Lancelot to himself, I would do shame to myself. And therewith Sir Lancelot put away his sword. And then the King with 100 knights and 100 more of North Wales set upon the 20 of Sir Lancelot's kin. And those 20 knights held themselves ever together as wild swine, and none would fail each other. And so, when Sir Tristram beheld the nobleness of these 20 knights, he marvelled their good deeds, for he saw by their fare and by their rule that they had rather die than leave the field in cowardice. Now, Jesus, said Sir Tristram, well may he be valiant and full of prowess, for he hath such a sort of noble knight unto his king, and full like he is to be a noble man that is their leader and governor. And he meant it by Sir Lancelot the Lake. So, when Sir Tristram had beheld them long, he thought shame to see 200 knights battering upon 20. Then Sir Tristram rode unto the King with 100 knights, and said, Sir, leave your fighting with those 20 knights, for ye shall win no worship in fighting them. You be so many, and they are so few. I know you well that they will not leave this field, for I see by their cheer and countenance, and you will get no worship from any one if you slay them. Therefore leave your fighting with them, for I will increase my worship. I will ride to those 20 knights, and help them with all my might and power. No, said the King, with the 100 knights you shall not do so. Now I see your courage and courtesy. I will withdraw my knights for your pleasure, for evermore a good knight will favour another, and like will draw to like. And there, ladies and gents, we end tonight's tale with Sir Tristram proving himself noble in battle. He's caught the eye of Sir Lancelot. He's caught the eye of King Arthur. And ever does he show himself to be chivalrous upon the field of battle. And actually, this is one of the nice things about having such a long story with Sir Tristram. We saw back in season 8 that Sir Tristram was a much more rash knight. That Sir Tristram was perhaps not the most chivalrous knight that ever Britain did see. Now it seems he has developed far more of a conscience, and it's great to see that. And next week we'll catch up with him again and see all the new things that he faces in his battles. So thank you Black Rabbit, thank you Chris, thank you Susan, thank you Jackie, thank you Julie and Stella and Frank, thank you Taz and Queen, thank you Karen and Chris and Sean and Lars and Danny, massive thanks. Thank you so much. Frank, I have a feeling that your present might be a pair of snippety snip snizzers. Absolutely. Tristram advertised something. If you're a king, you can't take the advice of other people. You've got to make it your own command. Surely, that's the way to do it, Sean. That's the key to successful rulership. Go and borrow the commands of other people. It's the way. We should do a book on the correct way of managing knights, I think. Could be something. Well, thank you, Stella. I'm glad you liked that, and I'm really glad that you came as well. No, there'll be no cutting. Queen, I like that campaign. Let's have a no snip of Simon's hair campaign. It wants to stay up as it is, doesn't it? We don't want any hair coming off the top of this head. It's perfect as it is. We'll keep it. There's no danger of snippy snip, guys. No danger at all. No, it was 1 million followers, Frank. 1 million followers, and I'll do it for charity. 1 million followers, not hearts. Hearts we might actually get to quite quickly. Thank you, Stella. I'm glad you like the hair. No, anyway, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed tonight's show. What I think we'll do is for those of you who are a big fan of the intros, one day a week I will possibly just do the intros. We'll just do a show that's all basically intro and recap for the previous seasons, and we'll work our way up, I think, which could be quite fun, quite entertaining. It means that you get full on me at full on energy talking straight to you, and I quite like being able to engage directly with you guys in eye contact, which means giving it a name. The Intros Only Club, absolutely Sean. It's basically intros only. We'll catch everybody up from season 1 all the way through. It means we can get it done on catch. It means we can get it onto the website for season 1 stuff. And also it means that you get a chance to develop some of the characters that Sir Thomas Mallory didn't develop so well, especially for things like, I'm not dressing up for Star Wars, Lars, because I'm excited for Star Wars, but I'm also terrified that it might be rubbish. So I need to just prepare myself, for either being, yay, Star Wars rocks, or, oh no, Star Wars is terrible, I need to go and sit in a pit and just watch Empire Strikes Back endlessly. So it's there. I mean, Empire will be sat there just in case I need to pick me up, but we'll see. We'll see how it is. That's all still to come. We're looking forward to it. Anyway, well, Lars, I think a lot of us have that feeling. From the chats I've been having, it's very, yes, yeah. J.J. Abrams' Star Trek was pretty rubbish for me. I did not like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. Well, yeah, no exams this time, which is the good news. I will not be late for any exams, but I wasn't a fan of J.J. Abrams' Star Treks. For me, there is only one Khan, and his name is Ricardo Montalban. He is not Benedict Cumberbatch. Never, ever. There's only one Captain Kirk. It's The Star Trek films. No, I can't get on with the new Star Trek films. I am Shatner all the way. Shatner till I die. Is I think the slogan here. Anyway, Poetry Live now coming up in a minute's time. Possibly 2 minutes. I'm going to run downstairs and grab myself a drink. But we are doing my favourite. Well, is my favourite? Yes, I think Petrarch wins for overall favourite poet. Anyway, we are doing Petrarch sonnets tonight. Which those of you who know me know I'm a huge fan of Petrarch sonnets. Very, very excited to be reading Petrarch sonnets for you tonight. I'm going to run downstairs and get myself some water so I can do it. Come back up here and then share some Petrarch with you. Shatner till I die is the one to take away for tonight. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Hopefully I'll see you for the next show as well. Bye bye.